LFG fam? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is sort of official, unofficial. Me and J-Mac kind of came up with this name last minute. This is the LFG Sitdown. We're bringing to you guys a new guest that has never been to the podcast, try to get to know them and talk about their opinions about the things that we talk about on this podcast every week. From the LFG core, obviously Jet, J-Mag, Cody, and our guest today, Phil Phenom.
What's good, everybody? What's good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I came across Phil on TikTok, man. He was at the time he was streaming Ultimate Alliance, but it was a mod.
That game is the best game I've ever played in my entire life.
I'm with you.
It's up there.
I don't know if it's the best one, but it is up there. That was.
I mean, in terms of superhero games,
okay,
like that's number one, and then Batman's right behind it. If Batman Arkham was multiplayer with like how it is, it would be the best game. But Marvel, there's no other game. DC doesn't have a game like that. They have Justice League Heroes, but that flopped.
Universe Online and stuff.
I mean, that doesn't count in my opinion because that's you can't just all four at home play at the same time like a Diablo or Gauntlet type game. You know, there's no RPG element game or like a dungeon scroller. There's only Marvel Alliance. That's it, or X-Men Legends.
Yeah, X-Men Legends was fire. I forgot about that.
And those are the games I've talked about on my stream a bunch of times. There's no games like that anymore. Like kids nowadays, I don't think they could play those games. Like they all like the Fortnites.
No way.
I mean, look at Marvel Rivals. That game is fun as hell too. But that game is like you had to be cracked out of your mind. Like you, like
exactly.
I'm 26 and I'm still cracked, but I have to drink a Red Bull sometimes. Like I have to, I have to get in, bro. Like if I don't, I'm gonna get shit on. Like
nah, he's right.
Nah,
so
that's...
So like a lot of kids nowadays, when I play Gauntlet, sometimes they'll be like, "What game is this? Like, how old are you? Are you 50?" I'm like, "No, I'm 26." I played this game growing up too. I played Gauntlet. I played Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom. You know what I mean? So, but Marvel Alliance is great. And then I found out how to mod it. And one day I was like bored one day, and I had to go live eventually. And then I started modding and streaming on Marvel Alliance, and I now have a whole audience from it. Like people wait there every day, watch me to play because they don't have a PC, so they literally watch me like have new characters every day. Like one time I had the Justice League on Marvel Alliance. I have like Batman, Superman, and has Kevin Conroy's voice, Mark Hamill's Joker. Wow. It's wild. It's wild.
Wow.
That is
that's crazy.
Damn.
It's insane.
No, yeah. Like I was watching you play, and I don't think. No, it was a while before I ended up typing in the chat. But I was just watching you play, and I would skip a day obviously, or skip a couple of days, and then I would see you live again and jump back in there. And it was just the way that you would interact with chat that like I was really like feeling your energy, because it was like somebody would say something and then you would be like, "Oh yeah, this. I got that comic. Hold on." And you would go and get it and show him. And I was like, man, nah, this guy is different. Like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I used to stream a lot back in the day when I was playing Call of Duty. And so I used to stream a lot more before I started doing like, content with videos. So like I always had a niche of being like a decent streamer. And I love streaming. If anything, I feel like I'm a better streamer than I am a content creator in terms of like making videos. I don't know. Like I always feel like I could talk to someone for hours if it's something I like. Like I'm a yapper when it comes to that. I could talk to someone about comic books, wrestling. You know what I mean? I could talk about anything for a while if it's something I enjoy. So, and then some people that ask me questions about comics, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, didn't Thor do this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, hold on." You mean this right here? And I was pull this out and everything. So, and I go to the comic book store every Wednesday. So I love comics. Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome. And I think one thing that people forget, and obviously we're gonna get into the MCU, DCU, DCU and stuff like that. But I just feel like a lot of people forget, like, this all starts with comic books, and these people that watch these movies, they like to tell the comic book readers like what's going on, but it's not really like that. Like comics are different. So I'm actually really glad that you were able to pull up on us, man. I guess we could really, because we started with video games, we could talk about Marvel Rivals What's your overall thoughts on Marvel Rivals?
As a competitive player, it's probably the most fun game I've had in years. And here's the thing. So I've been competing in Call of Duty. I just quit recently, but I was competing in Call of Duty. Like, I have made a decent amount of money from it. I traveled around the world from playing it. And so my mindset in a video game like this is competitive first, casual second. But the way that they've made it is to where every single character is usable, so the casuals will like it. And I never really see that from a competitive perspective, but it makes the game really competitive. And instead of like trying to nerf and balance stuff, they actually say, screw it, everything's OP, have fun. There's only a couple of things I feel like are kind of too cheesy, like the Jeff ult, where you can grab. Yeah, listen, I actually think the Jeff ult's cool. I don't like how players can grab the whole roster and S dive off the map.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he can spit out characters of the map, but I think what they should do is put an invisible wall right there so you can't S dive off the map. So a Jeff player would have strategically grab someone who can't fly and take them off the map. So if they grab like Thor, that wouldn't be a good idea. But you grab like Hulk or Groot, you could take them out. I just think like there is has to be a balance between like having a player who is really bad at video games to make them feel like, hey, come keep playing. And for people who enjoy your game, not to be like, okay, if I'm just going to lose because of that, I've lost games like that where I'm in the mix. I'm Thor. I usually run Thor and I'm in the mix. I can't hear that. When you hear like pure chaos from Wanda, and then you hear Luna Snow dancing like this, like it's an 80s club, like you can't hear Jeff. You can't hear that. There's no way. And I've flown in the air before, but like even if 5 feet off the ground, Jeff grabbed me still. Like, so there has to be a balance between the two. But outside of that, I think it's fun as hell. Like if you're a casual player, like even my friend from California, he's a casual guy. He plays like Dark Souls. Like he just plays single player games. He enjoys it, and even his competitive nature is coming out of him. And I think it's great for gamers to play something like that. It's great. I love it.
That's awesome. What's your rank right now?
I am gold 3. I just got to gold 3 on PC.
Okay, all right.
It's hard, and it sucks too because like a lot of these people I feel like have never played a competitive game, so people just insta lock on tanks or insta lock on like I've said this that being a DPS in this game is actually the most difficult role, like being a Punisher or a Star-Lord.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Because these maps are built like a character like Thor, he doesn't have range, so you gotta be in their face. So I die from characters like Hawkeye or Wanda, and I'm worried about freaking Venom swinging in my face the whole time. So like if you're a Hawkeye, if you're like a Punisher, you gotta flank them and just like go get those kills. Like, and a lot of people don't understand that, so it's very frustrating like that. But you got a 6 stack at that point. You got to get a stack of roster and call out. So
it's a grind, man. It's a grind. Me and Cody have been going through it for the past couple nights.
But see, like you guys rage, right? But you just keep playing. It's wild. It's like I've never I don't think I've had that feeling since probably like old school CODs from like Modern Warfare 2. Yep. Like I have never had this feeling where I'm pissed off every game, but I'm still grinding. It's weird. Like it's amazing though. I love it. I think Marvel's done a great job, and what they need to do is keep adding characters. Try not to nerf characters too much. Just keep it the way it is and keep adding new skins. I already bought the Cosmic Thor skin. I paid $20 for it. I don't care. It's so awesome.
No, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I put $100 the first day the game came in. So
that's insane. I couldn't do that. Well, listen, if they put Null in the game, I might quit my job. I might quit. I might quit my job and be unemployed just to play it because that'd be insane.
I can't wait for the roster to come in. Dr. Doom, because we're me and Jet and a couple of others here at LFG, we play Fortnite, and Dr. Doom's already over there from Rivals. He got a skin in Fortnite. He looks huge as fuck. So I don't know. Based off of that, he's looking like he's gonna be a Vanguard as well, just based off of what he looks like. So I'm excited to see what his kit is and how he's gonna play. So
for me, they need to add characters that comic readers haven't really like people don't talk about, like a Black Knight, like a Nova. I'm trying to think of other characters, but like definitely Black Knight will work really well in this game, like a Hercules, just some cool characters like Spider-Woman. Like where I know it's going to happen, they're going to add in Miles, they're going to add in Gwen, just because the popularity. But I hope they take this opportunity to take other characters or like Gladiator, Sentry, Quasar, Rom. There's just so many characters in the Marvel universe they can use, and I hope they actually, you know what? We'll just put them in the game. If even if it's a DLC, I'll pay for it. I don't care. I just need some new characters that don't get a lot of love,
Yeah,
or
that's cool.
like a Darkhawk or like a Man Thing, something cool.
That's a valid take.
A Blue Marvel. I'm not familiar with them, but I've played Marvel Snap as well, and I have played with them over there. But a Blue Marvel I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Blue Marvel will be interesting. The weird thing is he probably would play like Thor. He probably would be a tank. But he can like matter manipulate a little bit and antimatter and stuff like that. My knowledge on Blue Marvel is kind of low. Out of all the Superman clones, he's probably the least read I've read. But he would be cool for sure. I mean, like I said, for me, my favorite character, my number one choice would be Black Knight. I could imagine him on his chariot, on his horse, just flying at you with a spear. I would love that shit. Like Nova. I think Nova would be perfect for this game as a DPS. Like imagine like a Star-Lord type of player, but it's Nova, like Richard Rider. That'd be dope. So
we were talking about that too. I think we were talking about Sandman, Green Goblin, how they would play Sandman would kind of be like ridiculous if they were to have like a Pitfall or something like that.
I'm trying to think in the game right now, the only technically real villain, I guess, is Magneto, even though he's not really a villain anymore. Yeah. He's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, so I don't know if they would actually put in more villains. I'm all for it. I just want characters that don't get a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm down for whatever, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, yeah.
No, that's dope. I mean, we share the same sentiments that you do about Marvel Rivals. I mean, from the first time that we heard that game, and we watched the trailer and everything, we actually got a nice little reception from that. From the game being free, characters being free.
I wasn't excited for it when I was playing Marvel Alliance back over the summer.
Wow.
I didn't know about it. I saw it. I wasn't a big fan of Overwatch, but when I was playing Marvel Alliance every day, some random person I never met, never been in my stream before, was like, "Phil, are you gonna play Marvel Rivals?" And I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And so I had to go watch a YouTube video on it, and I was like, "Okay, it's free. I'll play it. I'll give it a shot." I didn't play the beta, and I played first day, and I was like, "I'm hooked. This is good." Marvel. Like if I'm DC right now, they better be making a game like this right now.
Oh yeah,
they got to be. I listen. After Marvel Rivals coming out, the argument with the Marvel and DC with the like who has a better property. Usually a lot of people would say DC is better video games, but if you think about it, outside the Arkham Batman games, what is the best DC game?
Yeah, then I didn't.
It would be Injustice or DC Universe Online, but I don't know where the love came for that game, because when I grew up playing that game as a kid, no one liked it. I remember that game. That game was a $60 game when it first came out, and then after a year, it went free on PSN.
Yep.
I mean, so I don't know where the love came from that game. Marvel, you had X-Men Legends, Marvel Alliance, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, X-Men Origins Wolverine. You had the new Spider-Man PS4 games. You have Marvel Rivals, and there's probably other games too, like that whole game from like 2008, like the Ultimate Destruction game. You had Marvel vs. Capcom. You had X-Men, Children of the Atom. You had a bunch of games.
That's a whole game, right? The Ultimate Destruction?
Yeah. That was like it was supposed to be like a spin-off to the movie a little bit, but you used to grab cars and make like fists out of cars. It was cool as shit.
Midnight Suns? Did you ever play Midnight Suns?
No, I'm not a big card game like that. I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! But like I couldn't play. I don't like Magic the Gathering. Not a big fan of that, but that's what I would think it would be, right?
It's like, are you familiar with XCOM?
No, I'm not. What is that?
It's kind of like a zoomed out third person, and you tell your characters where to go. You point and click, and then they'll
okay. So is it kind of like a chess game?
Kinda. I guess you could. Yeah, you could kind of compare it to that. Yeah.
See, I'm not. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that, but like I see why people like it. It's a strategic game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like I'm still waiting for Marvel or DC to drop a game that's like a dungeon scroll like Diablo again. I'm still waiting for them to do it, because imagine they rebooted Marvel Alliance and they had like 200 characters and like a 20-hour storyline with DLCs added into it every year. Like they would make bank. And I think Disney knows this, but they're not doing it. I don't know why. Supposedly there's a licensing issue, but dude, just make a new game that's like Marvel Alliance. Don't call it that. Call it like Marvel's Avengers. I don't give a damn. And just add in characters. They pretty much own every single character now. So like, just do it. Like I would pay for it. I'll take my money, please. I'll spend $70. I don't care. Like, So I don't know. That whole argument with Marvel and DC though, like outside the Batman Arkham games, which I think Arkham Asylum was my favorite single player story for a character. Besides those games, I don't see DC beating Marvel in terms of video games at all.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I don't even
That's
think
very
it's a
valid.
I don't even think
Yeah,
it's a
not even a
conversation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, absolutely.
So it's wild to me because DC's got great characters. I go to the comic book store every week and I spend about $50-$60 on DC. I read the hell out of them, but there's just some characters, some properties they just do a terrible job on, and I'm just like Firestorm, Red Tornado, Plastic Man.
Tornado.
Mhm.
I mean, look at Satana. Satana's been disrespected like crazy. She's
Yeah.
finally getting a solo run.
Yeah.
She's finally getting a new solo run that's canon, and I'm like,
Mm.
she should have had it ongoing already.
Mhm.
Like, why is it just Wonder Woman and that's it? Like, there's other characters they can do, and they just don't talk about them. And you have to wait like a year or two to see them again in comics. It sucks.
Well, let's get into it. Marvel, DC. Like I told you before, so none of us are comic book readers, but obviously we love these movies. We're there day one to see each one. Real quick before I have like a grasp of you. Have you seen all the MCU movies?
I think I've seen everything besides the Marvels.
Okay, well, you know, you
That's fine.
don't you
So I haven't seen the Marvels and the new DC movies, like the ones that are like DCU, but they canceled them. I haven't
Yeah.
seen them. I saw the Flash.
Okay.
I didn't see Shazam 2 or Aquaman 2, and I think that's it. Or Joker 2. Besides those, I haven't seen.
Okay.
In the shows.
I've seen Penguin. I've
Okay.
seen Loki. I've seen Moon Knight.
Okay, yeah.
WandaVision.
Mhm.
Did you watch Agatha?
Yeah, I'm on. I'm 2 episodes away from the ending.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So
Um,
watch out for that.
You saw Echo?
I saw the first 2 episodes, and I don't know why I didn't finish it, but I stopped watching it. I don't know
That's a
why.
good choice.
That's fair too.
I mean, the first episode was great. It was great. I
didn't-
like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because Echo's a good character, but the problem is, I think what Marvel does is this is their fault. They bring in characters that are not liked that much from comic book readers,
Mhm.
and they just put them on screen. What I would have done is done Daredevil and Echo, and make Echo like a Robin character.
Mm,
And I
like
think,
that.
and to spin that off to her own series, maybe just throw it in there when no one knows her. Like a casual person who doesn't read has no idea. But as a comic reader, I know Echo. Her books are good. I read them. But like, would I would make her into a show? Hell no. No offense to the character or Marvel. I just wouldn't do it. Just financially, it wouldn't make any sense. Cool character, but no, I know for sure it wouldn't work.
Makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Well, I mean, let's start with the most recent one, and then I'll get into the bigger question, I guess. So you watched Deadpool and Wolverine?
Of course, I saw it day one. I saw
Okay.
I saw it Thursday night.
Okay, yeah, us too. So let's get into it, man. What did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine?
When it's not anymore, but when I saw that film, that was my favorite comic book film I've ever seen.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
I know it's a hot take, but as a comic book reader, when I was watching that, it felt like I was reading literally like a new Deadpool and Wolverine series, a comic book, like them going through the multiverse, just trolling. That's what it felt like.
What changed your mind? Because you said it at first.
Well, what do you think? What movies came out after that?
Movie came out after that.
Like what Marvel and DC? What movies came out after that? I'm trying to think.
Y'all gotta help me. What happened? What came after that?
Yeah, what is after that?
You guys want to tell you?
DC.
thought-
It's got to be DC because there's nothing.
No,
else, right?
it's Marvel. It's Marvel.
It's
I'll give you that.
Oh,
What did they drop?
Nah, I don't know.
I don't remember anything that's dropped.
Yeah,
recently.
I'm telling you, it's a hot take. I don't think anyone has ever
It's a
said
hot
it.
Take?
I think Venom 3 was my favorite comic
Oh
book
my
film of all
God.
time.
Venom 3!
Hey.
Venom 3!
Hey.
Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. Yeah.
I forgot that movie.
That's the that. I'm in the camp that I enjoy these movies. Do you enjoy? Like, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
that's-
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. So the issue is that Sony, they actually copy the books. The problem is the books that they copy, a lot of people just don't enjoy them. So
I
like
hate it.
Craven,
That's
I'm
what
actually might see Craven tonight, but the thing is when Rhino got introduced, people were like, "Oh, that's not my Rhino." But no, if you read the books, that's what happened to Rhino, his origin. The problem is that a lot of people don't know about that, and they grew up watching like the '90s animated cartoon where they took a different take,
That's
and
right,
they
yep.
think that character is this. So when I saw Venom 3, and I'm a big Noel fan, so maybe I'm biased, but when I saw him on the throne, I'm like, they straight up took from Venom issue 3 and issue 4 of Donny Cates' run of his origin, how he was just there in the emptiness of the void. The Celestials came in, brought in light, and brought in life into the universe, and he started going rogue and killing all these gods with the all black. Like the fact that they showed that in a film, I was like, that's straight up panel from panel. And granted, you might not like that. That's fair. But for me, when I hear say I don't like the film because how they did Noel, I'm like, okay, so you didn't like the Noel as a character then, because they took it panel from panel. That's the only thing I'll say about it. That's why I'm like, keep the same energy on that. If you don't like the film because you don't think it worked out, that's fair. But if a lot of people's like, oh, Noel, they should have done more. No, I'm like, bro, they're just introducing the character to live action. Okay, we got to let them cook. If they F up, I'll admit, yeah, they F'd up. But at the moment, just as an introduction to the character, origin was perfect to me. Like, I don't think they could have done any better.
That's fair, because that was a heated debate that we had, not on the pod or anything. We were talking about that off the pod about like, if you need to understand the comics to understand this movie, and if you do, then does that make that a bad movie or a good movie? So to me, I enjoyed the movie. I liked it still. I enjoyed the whole trilogy, maybe the second one, and I'd like to hear your opinions on the second one too. To me and Jet, the second one just didn't work. Did it work for you? Did you like the second one?
I mean, the second one was okay. Like, I think 2 was the worst out of the 3. I agree with that. Yeah. But like, I don't know. When I went to go see Venom, my expectations weren't that high either. I just thought them like, you know, Carnage and Venom, it's a symbiote movie. F it. I'm just going to go in there and see what I can get. I'd probably give Venom 2 like a 6, 7 out of 10. Like, it was good. Venom 1 was like a 7.5, 8. I thought it was good. Venom 1 was good.
I like the first one. I really
and then Venom 3, like, I give it a high rate. I give it like a high 8, but just because of Noel.
Okay.
And the reason why when I saw Venom 3 and I saw when they first introduced Noel, I knew for a fact, I'm like, okay, this is not a Venom movie anymore. This is a Noel origin. This is what they're doing. And that's why I took my mindset. I'm like, okay, it's not a Venom movie. But the one thing I get really mad about is how people get mad about Venom, how he's corny. I'm like, do you guys never read Lethal Protector?
Yeah.
Like, do people not know after like Peter got rid of the black suit and Venom or Eddie and Peter got in a fight, Venom went to a good guy. He went to an anti-hero. Venom has been an anti-hero for like 20 years now, maybe 30 years. He's only been bad for like during Tom McFarlane's artwork during that time. And after that, he went to anti-hero. After Carnage came around, Venom's been an anti-hero for a long, long time. So a lot of people was like, oh, Venom needs to be dark and evil. I'm like, no, he's funny. He's the guy who eats a pizza box and has his tongue out. Like, I don't know where people are getting this info from. So,
I wasn't just gonna say that stuff has never bothered me. I've never even thought about how Venom acts or anything like that.
I always thought it was funny. I always thought Venom was a funny character, like a gag character.
No, he's hilarious, you know? and I think in the third one he is hilarious, and their chemistry,
him dancing with Eddie's friend, the store clerk chick.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. I was cracking up in the theater. That was funny as hell.
No, yeah, that movie was funny, and it's gonna. I don't know how many Marvel movies we're gonna talk about, but it just comes up to where like, because we watch all types of movies. I don't know. Do you just watch comic book movies or do you watch?
I watch some. Like I watch Beetlejuice too. But like, you know, unless there's a movie that catches my eye, I'm not gonna go see it. As a comic book fan, and as a content creator, I kind of feel like I have to go watch the comic book film because everyone's gonna ask me in my stream, like, "Hey, Phil." So, but no, I mean, the last couple years, movies in general haven't been that good. I usually wait now till they go on like HBO Max or like Hulu or, you know, and I might as well do that. Like I've seen the recent, I guess the summer film was Twister. I recently saw that.
Did you like it?
It was okay. Like it was like a 6, a 5. Like it was like like, you know, I wouldn't watch it again, but it was like okay. I didn't turn it off. So
yeah,
the only movie I have ever seen that I literally like turned off was Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty bad.
I'm sorry, and the first Wonder Woman film I saw that the night of at the drive-ins. I remember that it was like that movie was fire. That music, her coming in World War One's setting going with the sword. I was like, yo, this shit is gas. But Wonder Woman 2, I saw it. It was during COVID. I saw it, and I was looking at my dad. I was like, turn this shit off. This movie sucks. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but it was bad.
And then Madam Web.
I saw it in the theater. Like, okay, here's the thing. I think Wonder Woman 84 was worse than Madam Web.
Oh wow. Okay, I gotta watch Madam Web. I gotta watch Madam Web.
So I saw Madam Web. I see Morbius. I will never watch them again. But I actually sat there. It had my attention on the screen the whole time. Wonder Woman 84. 10 minutes. I turned it off. It was that bad. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was just that bad. Like I don't know if it was the acting or the screenplay or just what. I just couldn't watch it. I don't know. And I've seen Flash, the one that flopped. It was good. Like I watched it. I give him like a 5. It was okay. We'll never watch it again, but it was okay.
What'd you think about his red suit? That's also been a topic of debate here on this podcast.
Well, the Flash suit?
The Flash suit. What'd you think about it?
Oh, it was weird. It was like rubbery, right?
Yeah.
Like it was like Michael Keaton's version of the Flash.
Yeah.
It was weird, yeah. But I guess in a way it's comic book accurate a little bit.
Hey,
a little bit.
That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear.
But like in general, like I was like whatever. Like it's just you know. And I never really paid attention to it. I wish they would have done Thawne. I wish they would have done Reverse Flash. That would have been cool. I don't know why they didn't do it. And I never seen the CW show Flash. I need to go watch. I need to go watch it. I heard it was gas.
The first 3 seasons. After that, it slows up.
Okay. So, but yeah, I'm not a big Flash guy, but I watched it and I thought it was good. I don't think it was a blockbuster. Like a lot of DC stands were like, Phil, it's so good. It's the best DC movie ever. I'm like,
wow.
Like, no. No. Like, I'd rather watch Wonder Woman 1 again. I would rather watch any Batman film again.
So do you think, because I had this question, I don't want to lose it. Because currently Venom 3 is your favorite comic book movie?
Yes.
So do you think that Venom 3 is a better movie than, say, an Infinity War?
It matters what you're talking about. Like, in terms of, like, comic book accuracy and, like, how I enjoyed it, I can watch Venom 3 over and over again. Same with Infinity War, though. Yeah. It's hard to say, man. I mean, in terms of, I hate comparing, like, a big Avengers movie to, like, a solo movie.
Right.
I still think Infinity War is the best team-up movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Like, with, like, everybody in it. Deadpool Wolverine, I guess, is a solo movie. I don't even know, man. It's hard to say because my top 3 is Infinity War, Deadpool Wolverine, and then Venom 3. Those are my top 3, 100%.
You don't have No Way Home anywhere near that?
4. I'll put 4 or 5.
Okay,
top 5.
I'm trying to think of any of the movies. Like, all the Cap movies were pretty good too.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Cat movies are great, man.
Any of the Guardian movies?
Okay, so Guardians. I have Guardian. I thought it was weird. Guardians 1 was good. I didn't like Guardians 2. I thought it was boring. And then Guardians 3 was pretty good. Guardians 3 was funny as hell. I need to go rewatch that again because I saw that the first night with my dad, and we went there at like 1 a.m. We were the only 2 people in the theater.
Wow.
It was lit. I sat there. I turned around like, yo, Dad, there's nobody in here. We're like, hell yeah, let's go. So, but that movie was good. I think my most hated MCU film, and this is a hot take, is Doctor Strange 2.
Oh my god. Listen,
I don't like it. I hate it.
You don't understand. You just went up like how many notches right now? For the love of
that movie sucks.
Let me start and say this right now. The argument is what is the worst movie between Multiverse of Madness and Quantumanium?
Phil, what are you doing?
Oh, it's Doctor Strange 2. 100%.
We're done. In the discussion. Y'all are done. Y'all are done. That movie is bad.
Okay, but hold on. But Quantumania, like, what's so bad about it?
Justin, that's
let me hear it.
Justin.
Is it because the Kang got beaten by Ant-Man?
That's not confirmed.
Bro, Ant-Man is legit, bro. Recently, Ant-Man just beat like a version of Ultron by himself. Ant-Man's him. Like, I'm telling you, Ant-Man's him, bro. People sleep on him. He's pretty cool. He's pretty tough. However, I do understand what's going on with Kane, but I think people get confused that there's a multiverse going on. There's different versions of these characters going on. So at that time, it does suck, but dude, there's probably a Kane that's like a Galactus out there that can whip some ass. We don't know. It's a multiverse. It's infinite.
I think that Kane was still alive. Obviously, we're not going to see it anymore, but
Well, the problem I had with Doctor Strange 2 is the way they did the trailers. They were acting like this is the biggest movie since Endgame.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
they
that's fair.
completely sold it. You call it the multiverse of madness, and you go
Go
through 2 universes. That's it. That little glimpse when they went through the Savage Land and stuff for like a millisecond, that doesn't count.
Hey, that's all I needed to hear.
That's been Cody's
and then
debate and stuff. Go ahead.
If they would have changed it into Doctor Strange Enter the Darkhold or versus Wanda, that would have been a better title. I would have liked it. I would have enjoyed it because then all the cameos came in. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But I was expecting like Ghost Rider, Surfer, Magneto, X-Men. I was expecting everybody to come in. I was like, this is the film where everybody's gonna come in and have a connected Marvel universe, just like the books, because we've been waiting for this. Think about this. You know, Hulk has only interacted with the Guardians for like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. In the comics, Wolverine can just show up in Fantastic Four. He can show up in Avengers. He can show up in Spider-Man. He can show up anywhere. But then all these characters in the movies never interact. And I understand they're actors and it's movies, but we got to make this universe very well connected and have these characters interact. Oh. Like, please. Like, give me a Daredevil and Spider-Man TV show. Please. If you have to give Sony half profit, do it. I don't care. I'll watch it.
I don't want to hear nothing else. That's all. It feels good doing.
That's the only reason why I liked it. I didn't like it because my expectations was to bring in everybody. This is the film. Yes. And then when I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, they cut 40 minutes out of the film.
Oh,
is that true? Like,
I don't know.
Can somebody fact check me? I saw it from My Time to Shine on Twitter.
40 minutes is a
yes.
lot of time.
I've heard some things on My Time to Shine that he's been known to not be so reliable.
Okay, because I've heard he's the most reliable guy, in sources. That's what I heard.
Let me check.
It could be wrong though. Anytime I get it from him, I'm like, okay, it's probably relatively true. But like, supposedly Magneto was supposed to show up and Ghost Rider was supposed to show up. It was supposed to be Nicolas Cage, but he turned it down. I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, like, I hate when they cut out like 40 minutes of the film. I hate that shit. I hate it. I know it's a hot take, but if I was gonna actually rate a film that I did not like in the MCU, oh my gosh, I'm trying. All of them are good. That's the thing.
You don't the Dark World.
That's a good question because you're a Thor guy.
Yeah, so I thought Thor 1 was pretty damn good. Like, thinking about it now, I mean, I have listen.
Like, that's what he does on stream.
I recently just got this on the TikTok shop. I got it for $1.
Wow.
Damn, this is $100 cover price. If you look closely, there is Thor's first appearance. And, I'm reading it. They did a pretty good job. I mean, origin-wise, I thought it was pretty good. Like, how Thor, when he first came to Midgard, he was a doctor as Donald Blake. And how Odin banished him to learn to be humble. All that shit's good. Like, I like it. And, so in terms of that, I'm like, it's a pretty decent film. I guess Thor 2 probably would suck. I think Ragnarok's a little bit overrated. It's a good film. People give it a 9, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah. I would give that a 10, me personally.
Really? Okay. For me, I give it about a 7.5. It's a great film, but it's not like I would not put in an Infinity War discussion.
No.
So when you think about it, if you give a film like a 9 out of 10, then that's really hard to top. Like, there's nothing that can really top it. That's why I give like Venom 3 like an 8.7, because I'm like, if they do Avengers King in Black, that movie's a 9.5 for me automatically just for doing it. So that's why I'm like, I'm giving some wiggle room right there,
Yeah.
So, but I think every MCU film I enjoyed. There's not a film I've watched. I was like, I came out of the theater like, this movie sucks.
Iron Man 3.
Man, how long ago was that?
That was a while.
I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school. I think I'm trying to think, like, what happened in that film? Was there where it was like Armor Wars, where basically all the suits are finding?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that film was good. I remember 1 was amazing. I remember that. I was 10 years old.
1 was amazing.
And when I saw it, I was like, holy crap, they did an amazing job. I actually recently just saw the 2008 Hulk film. That movie's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's good as hell.
Was
that movie's
Eric Bana, I think his name was?
Yes, that movie's good. Go watch that film again. That film was good.
My only issue with that one is it seems too dark at times. Like, I can't see what's going on the screen. That's the only thing that I can't see.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah. But I mean, just in general, that movie was good. I mean, there's some good comic book films that back in the day people were shitting on, and I'm like, no, this movie's good. I liked it.
Like,
See, this is why it's perfect that you came on here, because we have, like, I'm not gonna say totally different opinions, but there's some different opinions for sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. I mean, I look at comic book films as like if they're taking a certain storyline, how close they did it to the books. And
yeah, I can see that.
completely
Yeah.
valid, yeah.
And that's just the way I look at it. And I understand people don't read. I always tell people I highly recommend go read these books. Get a better. Even my mom, who doesn't read, when we saw Love and Thunder, she went to go read Jason Aaron's Thor run with Gore, and she was like, "Wow!" And then when we saw the film, she was kind of disappointed. Like, where was the three Thors at? Why is Jane Foster able to fight Gore so easily? And like, she asked those questions. And I think by doing that, Marvel will actually listen to the casuals more than the comic book fans, at least in my opinion, because it's a bigger audience. So I feel like if the casuals start reading more, we'll get better films, because Marvel's like, okay, you want to take it straight from the books? All right, we'll do it. Like, you have to change it up a little bit, right? Give an example. I always tell about this. I don't know if you guys saw X-Men 97, but that is peak. That is peak.
10, 11, 12 out of 10. Yes.
So with Scott, with the Madeline Pryor situation in the comics, when Jean came back, the Fantastic Four grabbed Jean, which was Phoenix, and we found out that she didn't die. Scott had a kid with Madeline. He left Madeline and baby Cable to go with Jean. He left them. In the show, though, he was conflicted. He's like, I don't know what to do. That's how you change it, right? But Scott in the comics was an asshole. He just left them. Imagine having like a full-on relationship and your high school sweetheart comes back and you're like, bye, and just dip. Yeah. I understand it, right? Because that's your first love and they're, whatever. But like in the show, he was conflicted. And I think in terms of character development was a lot better than they did in the books. So that's something you would change, like to change it up a little bit. But you keep trying to keep the source material, the majority of it there, because it keeps people happy, right?
That's a great point.
All right, so we'll just get into the big Marvel question before we get into, well, actually there's two Marvel questions. I'm sure you saw, because you're a comic book guy, but Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans coming back to the MCU.
Crazy. Super crazy.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm like, it's cool. I do wish they did other actors, but I understand it. To be honest with you, it's not that big of a problem. I think people are getting mad. We gotta understand Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man that we loved growing up. He's dead. That version of Iron Man is dead. He will never come back. And so we understand that Robert Downey Jr. is playing a different character. And so I've always said this: when you read comics, sometimes the way that artists interpret the character and draw them, they look very similar to each other. There are some instances where Iron Man looks like Doctor Strange. Like they look very similar, and it just is what it is, right? The only thing I wish is Doctor Doom. I wish the actor that's going to play him is, I don't know if you guys seen Game of Thrones, but I think Jaime Lannister would be a perfect Victor Von Doom. He plays the arrogant role in the show, very cocky role, and that's what Doom is. Doom is an arrogant, cocky asshole that has so much aura. And I think that's what a character needs to be. What I think is going to happen, I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be a gag character as Doctor Doom, and the real Doctor Doom is going to come out. Yeah. I have a gut feeling. I think that Marvel's playing with us.
Yep.
I think they're playing with us, and all these people that are bitching and complaining, I think when they go watch it, they're like, okay, we're sorry. Marvel cooked again. Sorry.
Every time, yo.
That's like, my thing is why are we criticizing Marvel so much on these projects when they have done a good job? They created a universe, but when you go to DC, like they haven't had a universe. And I've talked about this. I'm excited for the Superman film. I'm gonna go watch it first day. I'm really excited, but I'm scared that financially it won't make the money.
Talked about that a lot on here, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like, what evidence shows that people are just gonna go see it? Like, what? No one buys it.
I said that last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was.
Think about this. I'm not saying comic book sales are everything, but right now, Superman comics should be top 10 in sales every month, and they're not. I showed in month of July, Daredevil was outselling it. Daredevil was outselling Superman. Your Superman's your Spider-Man. You could, like ASM, a lot of people don't like it. I'm like 50-50 on it, but ASM could be in the top 10 every month, and that book is quote unquote bad. So my thing is, what is DC doing wrong for them to sell that book? Either the book is that bad that no one can read it. Because my opinion, Superman should be top 10 every month. I don't care. Like I don't care if a horse writes Superman or like an animal writes it. Like that book should be, just because the title is Superman, Clark Kent is on the title. That book should sell. Just fly like Batman does. I mean, you know what I mean? So there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I don't even like Superman as a character. I actually don't like the character, but I love reading his books. I love his stories, but I'm not a big fan of Superman. You know, I grew up, watching, Smallville a little bit with my grandpa, and I watched that show. But like, I don't know what's going on. And the Superman books currently right now are amazing. They're great. I've done reviews on my channel a bunch of times. They're great. So I don't know what's going on. I'm actually scared for DC. If Superman does not do well, I think they're chalked.
So then I'll transition to that. Do you believe in James Gunn? Because your answer is kind of like,
yeah. So I do, but I think he's fighting the uphill battle that he cannot fight back. I think he's going to do a great job in the film, and I think it's going to do, like, subjectively, it's going to be like an 8 and 9 out of 10. But I don't think financially it's going to do well. I think it's going to be a word of mouth thing. I think weeks on, like, if I go see it, the movie's great, I'm going to tell everybody to go watch it. But I don't think it. I think opening weekend, I have a hunch that Deadpool, or I could say that Venom 3 right now might make more money than Superman. Well, because think about it, Venom 3. How much Venom 3 make? 500 million.
Yeah,
it made more. So can someone look that up and fact check that? Because I saw recently it made more money than Venom 2. It's already surpassed Venom 2.
You think it's gonna make more money than Fantastic Four?
No. I think Fantastic Four have bigger actors in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Like Human Torch, the guy from Stranger. You're gonna get Stranger Things people to go watch that.
As of 2 days ago, it's at 472.9 million worldwide.
Close enough, yeah.
What, Venom 3?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good and I think the budget was only $880 million to make the movie. After advertisements, they probably made about $100 million, give or take, without merchandise. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, and that's
in a dead universe too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, in my mind, Superman should probably make about 700, 800, but I don't see making that. It's really hard for me to say that. It's very hard, man. Like, everything in Superman should be flying off the shelves. Like, if I'm James Gunn, I'm releasing that trailer right now.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, we need a trailer.
Like, they should have.
Yeah, because we were saying, because I guess the running theory is, I guess sometime next week, Christmas Day or the Super Bowl. I think there 100% needs to be a trailer for the Super Bowl. Like, 1,000%,
yes,
actually.
yes. I mean, so I think the biggest problem from DC, and this has always been a problem, is their advertisements, even in their comic books. Why is it, like, if I'm DC and you're trying to push out like Firestorm or something, why not put Batman in your book so the Batman stands could go buy the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I would say 75% of DC fans are just Batman fans. That's it. And I love Batman. He's my favorite character of all time. I grew up, like, seriously, he's my favorite character. But here's the thing. It's like, I like DC as a whole. I'll read New Gods. I'll read Green Lantern. I'll read just anything because I like the lore of it. And I feel bad for DC because they got some good shit, but nobody buys it. And I think it's part of DC's fault because Marvel had this problem. When they went bankrupt, what happened? They made Marvel Knights, Punisher, Daredevil, and those characters. Now those characters are popular. Hell, symbiotes right now are more popular than like 80% of DC. Symbiotes.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, a Spider-Man villain is more popular than 80% of your verse. That is scary. Like, Marvel's done a good job of making other things popular. Like, they can rely on Fantastic Four, Avengers, Spider-Man, the mutants now again, symbiotes, like I said. Like, there's just so many other characters they can rely on. Besides the Inhumans. I feel bad for them. They can't rely on them. Listen, Black Bolt's cool. Medusa's cool, but they I mean, they got shit on, bro. I'm sorry, man. I feel bad for Inhumans fans, man. But I don't know. I'm scared for DC. Like, I really am. Like, this is like make it or break it. This is like holding the line. This is what are you? Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna compete with DC, Marvel? And I prefer Marvel over DC, but I read DC too. I'm like 50-50 with reading. I want DC to do well because if DC does well, what happens? competition.
Yep.
And as a consumer, we want that. We want both these companies fighting against each other in terms like, I make a better movie. No, I will. No, I will. And after they make better movies, we are just seeing cinema. Like, that's what we want. So I don't want DC to go under. I don't want DC to go bankrupt. I don't want DC to fail. I want DC to succeed. I would love to them to do the Blackest Night storyline with the Green Lanterns and have Larfleeze in there. Like, please, I'm begging you. Like, please do it. Take my money. I'll go. So it's really it's wild time though for DC. I've never thought this would be like this. That basically it's just Batman right now.
Yeah.
It's a wild time.
Do you think James Gunn has a good, I guess, plan? Like, I don't know if you saw like the video that he dropped where he literally put out what movies, like he has like a timeline, like it's Superman or Creature Commandos, I guess technically. And then Superman, the Lanterns, the Mascara show. Do you think that's a good, because I said this last week, doing Superman and then we do like the Lanterns, the Mascara and whatever else, and then like you have Batman on the back burner. Like, I don't know if that's a good plan. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a good idea to push these other characters out, because Marvel didn't own the rights to Spider-Man, and what happened? They got Iron Man was a C+ character in popularity, and now Iron Man's probably more popular than Spider-Man, arguably. So I like the idea. The only thing I disagree with is the Lanterns. They should have just done Hal Jordan as a movie, do an actual real origin, because the last one sucked. Everyone hated it, right, for the most part. Do that, then do a Lanterns TV show and put in Kilowog, Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart, of course, Kyle Rayner, and then do that. It's kind of weird though that the first project is animation. That's just kind of weird. You know,
it's a strange choice for sure.
Creature Commandos was good though. I watched the first episode. I liked it. I didn't watch
Yes, I agreed. Yeah,
it was good. Like, it's, you know, it's campy. It's dark and R-rated and stuff. I like it. It's cool. You know, it's something different. I know it's weird. It's a weird situation. It's different. They're doing different from Marvel, which I'm glad. I just don't want them to rush things. I wish they hope just to build a universe. Because the difference from Marvel and DC is that DC is connected like Marvel, but in comics, if you read just a Batman comic, you really don't have to read other books, maybe besides Justice League. So Batman's really in his own detective story, like Detective Comics, and that's it. Same thing with Superman. Superman deals with the Superman family. Like right now, he's fighting Doomsday, and a future version of Doomsday, which is Time Trapper, but has nothing to do with Batman, has nothing to do with the Lanterns, nothing. And so Marvel's not like that. Like right now, give an example, Spider-Boy, he just interacted with Avengers, and now he's with Daredevil. So he's going around, like, it's just everything. And DC, however, is more toward the character that the run is on. So I would say Marvel, give an example, is probably the X-Men. The X-Men kind of do their own thing. Sometimes the Avengers, like, I mean, the Avengers just showed up recently, but, you know, something like that. But DC, they can just do their own character, and that's it.
But see, and then my thing is, because obviously I don't have a problem with them doing the Lanterns, doing whatever else, but I just feel like he's fighting an uphill battle. So like, I don't understand why. Obviously, do Superman first. Good idea. Great. Let's do it. But just like you said, Batman in the comics, that's DC. That's damn near DC and what it is. So it's like, why are we putting that on the back burner? He has nothing for that Batman film, but he's already like, he has a plan for everything else. And I just don't.
Well, I have a hunch that Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be the main Batman. They're going to say,
oh, that's a hot take.
Wait, why is that?
But you like, it's going to be James Gunn's Batman?
Yeah. I know, even though he said that it won't be, I think financially they're going to have to. They're going to just have to. It's going to be harder to do two different Batmans. Because I was thinking about this. As a casual who doesn't read, right, just watches the films and just relaxes, what do you think? Do you think they're going to understand there's two different Batmans going on?
No, and we've talked about that a lot.
They're
like,
not.
I already think it's a problem that he's mixing characters from like the old, and I understand that's like Weasel, for example. Like, you know, he not come up with the character, but came up with that and put it in the Suicide Squad remake or whatever.
Yeah.
But like mixing Amanda Waller, mixing the Weasel, like it's already, you're blurring the lines, and even less casual than us, because we don't read the books, even less casual than us, like it's just going to be confusing. Like it already kind of was.
So my mom and dad, they love the Penguin, especially my mom. because it reminded her of Sopranos. And when I told her, I'm like, this doesn't count. Like, they're not gonna be in Superman film. She's like, what? I was like, she's like, what? She was so confused. I was like, yeah, they're making it not doing that. And I'm like, they need to. They just need to. The fix this problem is that in the comics, Detective Comics, usually Batman's more straight tier. Like, I mean, he can get hurt from bullets and stuff like that. But when he's in the Justice League with prep a little bit in certain tech, he can do some crazy shit. So that's what I think you just do. I think James Gunn tells Matt Reeves, like, hey, you got Batman, you got your detective stories. You could probably, if you can't, sprinkle in some supernatural stuff like Clayface and the Court of Owls and all that stuff, right? Yes. But when we need Batman, we're gonna take him and put him in the Justice League, and he's gonna do some crazy tech, high prep shit, and it just is what it is. We just have to, and I think that's how you fix it. Is that if you want to watch a dark, gritty detective story, watch the Batman. If you want to watch Batman fighting like against parademons, go watch Justice League. And I just think you just got to do that, because it's kind of like the books a little bit. So I wouldn't mind it. And I'm a comic book reader, and I understand the multiverse, but I don't think they should do that. I disagree with them having two separate universes. One's Elseworld, one's not. Just make it one universe and just let Matt Reeves does with his shit, and just make sure it's canon to what's going on with the DCU in general. Just fit that into your story. But you can write your own story. That's what I think they should do.
I like that.
It's gonna be tough, but I mean, like what actor they're gonna get for Batman right now? Like, who's out there?
Exactly.
Can anyone name any actor?
The
like
one that played Gotham, but that's about it.
I mean, for me, my choice would be Jason Ackles, Soldier Boy.
Yes, I said I said that too.
But he's kind of older, right? He's in his late 40s, isn't he?
Older. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that then. You just can't do it. You just can't. He's too old.
Damn.
So like DC's in a weird spot. Like I said, man, it's weird. It's in a weird spot. And what I hate is when people criticize Marvel, like, oh, Marvel's down bad. I'm like, no, they're not. They got a damn universe. Everything's connected for the most part. And we got Secret Wars around the corner. And practically every single movie since Endgame, there's only about a handful, have financially made money. I hate Doctor Strange too, but I can't argue that movie made $200 million profit. I hate that movie. Deadpool Wolverine made profit. Venom 3 made profit. Love and Thunder, I found out, made money. Like,
that's crazy.
And the crazy part is, like, we can all talk about what's good and what's bad, but that's all subjective. Financially, they made money. At the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yep.
So it's like, I hate, maybe you could say Marvel subjectively is getting worse, but they're still making money, and they got a universe, and it's still going. And they got the money. They got the Mickey money. So, you know what I mean?
So I just want to make sure that we end on time, because we do have something else we got to get to. If you only have one ticket this coming July,
you heard about July real quick? You heard
Wait,
about
what?
movies come out in July?
Yeah, it's like Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Okay, so you only get one ticket. Is it for Superman?
Well, it's hard for me to say because I need to see the trailers of Fantastic Four. I'm not going to see Jurassic World. No offense. Like, I watched Jurassic Park as a kid, and that was it. I need to see the trailer of Superman and Fantastic Four, but I probably would say Superman. Just because Fantastic Four, I think, like, next year, that's not even my most anticipated movie as a comic book reader. I mean, it's Thunderbolts. I'm excited to see that film. When they popped in Sentry, I was like, yo.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, a lot of people don't understand. So, as a Noel fan, Sentry's power comes from Noel. And what happens in the comics is that Noel rips Sentry in half, like, and kills the bitch. Rips him in half and takes the void from him. So, I'm like, if they do that on screen, like, that's going to be insane. So, the fact that then there's a rumor that the void shows up, like, inside Sentry in the movie. I'm like, yo, I don't care. Like, Cap's gonna be cool, Task Force is gonna be cool, but no, I'm seeing the movie just because of Sentry. And I think Thunderbolts is gonna be the, I guess, the catalyst for Suicide Squad versus Thunderbolts. Which one's better? Like, that's gonna be their Suicide Squad. Yeah. And so, and I heard test screening, it did really good. That's what I heard from like people like, My Time to Shine and shit. But they also said that but they also said that the new Cap movie is doing bad in early test screening. But
Yeah.
the trailer looks fire.
Good.
Yeah,
It looks
trailer's
fire. Red
good.
Hulk looks like bitching. Like that looks cool. And it's almost 3 hours long. Did you guys hear about that?
3 hours.
It's 2 hours and 45 minutes long. It's basically 3
Damn.
hours.
Yeah.
So with credits, it's about 3 hours almost.
Yeah.
Because you gotta watch. You gotta set it for the end credit scene. So
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
so I'm thinking like that's pretty long. So that'd be weird for that long of a movie. If it's that bad, dude, people are gonna fall asleep or walk out. Then that's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna see it first day. My dad's a big Red Hulk fan. When he saw it, he's like, "Yo, okay, we're gonna go see it first day." So I'm really excited for Cap. I'll watch all 3 though, or 4. I'll watch Superman, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and that. But if I had one ticket, I definitely during the summer in July, I would definitely see Superman for sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we all agree. And 2 things, I guess, before we get out of here that I wanted to ask you. So because we've been covering the Superman movie since it first got announced, right?
Okay.
And not every single time, but very often there's something new coming out about this movie that we just didn't expect. And we kind of feel like he's putting a lot in this movie. Like the cast already is like a lot. Like,
Yeah, I mean, is it like it's Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mayor Forfo? I can't even say his name. I'm sorry.
Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. Crypto. Who's the main villain? Is it Brainiac?
I don't think they've said yet. If I'm
No.
not mistaken, I think the rumors are Brainiac though.
Okay, and then you got Lois Lane, you got Jimmy Olsen,
yeah.
and then you got the Fortress of Solitude. I mean, you got a lot of shit in the first movie, and
Yeah.
I guess we don't really need an origin film, but that's a lot of characters. Like at this point, just throw in fucking Darkseid. Just throw him in. Just screw it. Just throw him in at this point, dude.
Yeah.
Have a free for all of characters, but no, I mean, yeah, I get your point. There's a lot of characters they're introducing in the first movie. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like we say every time we talk about the Superman movie, we want it to succeed. We are DC fans. But and you kind of talked about it a little bit. He's fighting an uphill battle, whether it's the money, whether it's the actual like structure of what this movie is supposed to be, because obviously we don't know. We're patiently waiting on that trailer because that trailer is going to tell us a lot. But
supposedly the trailer has already been done for like 3 months.
Yeah, he's
got it
done
done
with it.
dry.
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy? And this is why I don't Marvel. I love Marvel, but there were a bunch of assholes for this. Do you remember San Diego? Was it in San Diego Comic-Con in July, August, where they announced RDJ as Doom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marvel, their Marvel Day was before DC. I think James Gunn was going to release it that day, but right when they saw Doctor Doom as RDJ, they're like, nope, we lost. We're not going to. Imagine you're James Gunn, you're like, fuck. Like, you're just like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It's wild. I think if Superman fails, I think DC gets sold to Universal.
Damn.
I think so. Because I don't know if you guys know this. Have you guys been to Universal Studios Florida?
Not in
No.
many years.
Okay, so they own a lifetime contract rights to Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
So they have a Marvel Land.
Yep.
And Disney can't do anything about it. Yep. So let's say this. Let's say Universal bought DC. They can legally have Marvel versus DC Land.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
I'm not kidding. They really could. I just thought about that. So I'm like, yo, and the thing is, Universal has the money. They have done a pretty good job with movies overall. I mean, they got Van Helsing, they got all the Universal monsters, the Mummy. I mean, they've done a pretty good job, and the parks are always packed. I mean, I have season passes to Disney World, and I've been to Universal. Universal's a lot more packed than Disney World right now, currently.
Oh wow.
So I mean, Universal's got the money, and they got the studios. I mean, I could really see that happening if Superman flops financially.
And you wouldn't think that's the worst thing in the world?
No, I think actually would be better. Because just imagine this: Universal Studios Florida, the park, is like 10 miles away from Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
It's right, literally, like it feels like you could walk there, and it's like, yo, like DC and Marvel is right there. Like they can literally like not physically, but like mentally they can fight each other. Who's the better brand? And it's better for us, right? So
Well, if James Gunn can't fix it, then I mean that's a good alternative. That's probably the best alternative.
I mean,
really.
do you think James Gunn has a lot of pressure right now?
For sure.
I think he does.
For sure.
Like, I'm just thinking about this. Like that, I want to see that guy's day-to-day life. He's probably like freaking the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
He wakes up
absolutely.
stressed.
I feel bad for him, dude. Like, really. I don't know. It's a weird moment for DC, man. I mean, it really is. So,
He heard Chris Evans coming back. He's stressing some more.
yo, if we see Chris Evans cap and he's wearing the Hail Hydra suit,
Yo,
yeah,
Oh,
that'd be crazy.
in Secret Wars, and then
That'd be
you just see him.
crazy.
You just see him, and you know Tom Holland Spider-Man's like, "What's up, Cap?" And he's like, "Cap, Hail Hydra," and he starts being the shit out of Spider-Man. Like, you know, that'd be insane, dude. Like, I just think about that. Like, Marvel can do that right now, and they have all the money in the world. They got the universe. All the actors will come back and play them because they can. And then you'll see these little TikTok trollers like, "Nah, Marvel's doing bad now." It's like, no, they're not, man. Stop. They're doing fine. They have some bad movies here and there, just like every other brand. It happens. You know.
The crazy part is this. I mean, it's about to get. I say worse, but obviously the worst is for DC. Like they're about to get the X-Men. I mean, the X-Men are technically already there, but they're about to be in full force. And Kevin Feige can't wait.
If we get an X-Men film and it's straight up X-Men 97, that movie's making $1 billion.
Damn.
Like, imagine it's X-Men 97, right? Just that cast, like Rogue, Gambit, Beast, Storm, Cyclops, Jean, Wolverine, Jubilee, and Professor X. Maybe throw Bishop in there too, because he's kind of in the team and not on the team. If you get that roster, that movie's making $1 billion.
And the crazy part too is he's Kevin Feige. I don't know if it comes from Kevin Feige or just the people that, you know, put things out, but there's always a new rumor. One of the most recent ones was that Robert Pattinson had a meeting over there at Marvel Studios. Before that, when they first let go of Henry Cavill was supposedly talking to Kevin Feige. So it's just like these dudes are always playing mind games.
Well, I heard a rumor that Robert Pattinson was supposed to play the Beyonder in Secret Wars. I mean, that'll be the nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, hey, look, it's Batman. Oh, no, it's the Beyonder, and he's wiping us on the floor. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, Henry Cavill, I'm sorry, he would have been really, really, really good Hercules. He would have been amazing Hercules, man. Or I think supposedly he might play Wolverine, but I think at this point he's probably going to play Captain Britain. I think he's going to play
that too. I heard that too,
yeah, he's probably going to be Captain Britain, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, Marvel been playing mind games, bro. They're ahead of I feel bad because it's like, listen, I love Marvel more than DC in terms of like reading, but I do read all DC books for the majority of it. But I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, Marvel's a bunch of assholes, man. they be fucking with people, dude. And it's smart. It's smart. I give them props, you know. So,
yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we could honestly sit here and talk about this all day, but we do have something else to get to. Obviously, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
LFG.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, of course. Just like everyone else that comes on here, the vibes are great. So, you know, whenever you want to come back, you know, we're Discord friends now. So
no, I mean, yeah, just hit me up, man. Off topic. I did just recently quit competing in competitive Call of Duty after 8 years. And after that, so basically I'm free now. I'm still in college for it because I have a scholarship for it, and I got to get my associate's degree in small business for it.
Oh,
but
okay.
But besides that, like, I'm free now. The only thing I got now is a job in school. So,
okay.
So besides that, I'm basically free.
We got to get Phil on an actual podcast then where we got the rest of LFG with us and chop it up with some topics and Marvel topics.
They're going to think I'm crazy because of the Venom 3 take I got. It's the only person. A lot of people think I'm crazy, man. I mean, I'm telling you, Venom 3 is good. Like, rewatch. I mean, I can literally pull up the comic right now, and if I show you guys, you'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, if you go read Dawn of Cade's Venom from 2018. Just read the first 4 or 5 books, and you'll be like, okay, now I know where Phil is thinking.
Well, listen, like, all of our shit is documented. Like, every time we go to the movie, we come right back to these spots, and we talk about what we just saw, and we rate it.
I hope Craven's not bad. I hope Craven's not bad. I heard it was bad.
I've heard terrible.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah, real quick. What did you think about the trailer of Craven? Because to me, I've had this.
Fire.
That's not
fire.
Okay. I don't have no comic book knowledge, like we've said. That to me doesn't look like Craven. My knowledge of Craven comes from the PS5 game that just dropped, and then the 90s,
Okay.
The show that just dropped.
Okay, so yeah, no,
based
but
off comic book, what do you think?
no, that's pretty comic. His origin and shit, like he's got powers too. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know if you follow Keen Lion, but he did an in-depth video, and he did an in-depth video of it, and there's some stuff I didn't know, and I was like, "Yo, okay." And so, that's why I make sure to tell people before judging something, at least read the source material to get a better understanding. If you still don't like it, fair. That's fair. If that's not your interpretation of what the character should be, that's fair. But you got to at least respect the studio for actually taking from the source material that where it came from. That's the origin of how it came from. Imagine like they just said Spider-Man, like, yeah, Spider-Man got bit by a spider, but in all the movies he didn't, and then everyone's like, no, like they eventually do a movie with that where he got bit by a spider. Everyone's like, this movie sucks. Well, it's in the books,
Makes sense.
you know. So
yeah, it makes sense.
But the trailer looks cool though. It looks cool. It's a nice. My expectations low. I'm just gonna go in there and just have fun.
Okay.
It's getting worse ratings than Madam Web, which there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like
That's what I said.
well, I mean, Rhino's in the film too. Like there's got to be some coolness into it because Kraven's a cool character. He's
Yeah,
cool.
he is.
He's not my favorite. I read him. He's cool. So I'm in there. I'm just gonna free ball it. If it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
All right. There you guys go. Make sure you guys go check Phil Phenom out on TikTok. He's gonna go watch the movie tonight, so maybe he'll drop a TikTok on that, and you guys can go get his thoughts on that.
Yeah,
so,
I'm definitely gonna make a video on that. Yeah.
There you go. We appreciate Phil Phenom coming onto the show and onto this first Let's Sit Down. What do you call it? Let's LF Sit Down.
LFG Sit Down.
LFG Sit
we
Down.
go.
We appreciate Phil Phenom coming up on this, and much appreciated, Phil.
Thank you guys having me.
You're welcome back at any time, like we said. So go ahead and we'll reach out. You reach out to us. Either way, we hope to get you on a podcast pretty soon and chop it up some more. So much appreciated.
Thank you.
But make sure you guys go follow Phil Phenom on his TikTok. On any other socials you want to plug, Phil? Anything?
Thank you for having me. Guys, just make sure if anything you guys hear on the internet, at least get your base knowledge on it before judging something. That's what I would say.
There you go. There you guys go. Well, we appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. You already know what to do. Drop all those comments down in the comments. And while you're down in those comments, go ahead and drop us a like and subscribe. That would be much appreciated. But in the meantime, keep it locked here to LFG, where we got you covered on anything and everything in pop culture. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Man was going.